and we're away. Hello, everyone. This is
it's not the smoothest entry, is it?
This is the
music.
penultimate Stories from the Smile Crew before Christmas.
It is.
Penultimately means last but one, by the way.
Thanks, Dave.
So
I'm gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to talk to other people. This is great.
yeah, it means your family can go in the kitchen on a Tuesday night. Yay! So it's the full strength version today. We're all telling stories. Next week we're gonna do. Go on, Mike.
With my internet, is anything ever full screen?
Hey! Next week we're gonna do a game, aren't we, Steph? For the lock-in. What was it that you were suggesting?
This would have been a really good question, Dave. If you'd have pre-prepared me, I could have got the box.
Yeah.
What is the? We can all get a box out and pretend it's the right one.
It's the game Buzzed. So it's basically the drinking game Never Have I Ever, but with more control.
Did you mean buzzed or buzzed?
Buzzed.
Are you
As
taking
buzzed
the
as in
accent?
We're getting a buzz up, or
No,
as in
buzzed is in. Let's get buzzed, man.
Right.
Because it's an American game. There's lots of references I don't understand.
NFL.
What?
Owning guns. The colour America.
Obviously, Mikey and Steph will be drinking soft drinks next week. I'll be cracking
I'll
open a
have
Jim
to as
Beam.
well because I drive here.
Why will Steph be drinking a soft drink?
Because Steph has work the next morning.
Yeah, mate, they're only kids. Fuck them. Don't fuck them. But just, they don't care. Just
clip that. If someone's there who
just
can clip that.
pretend you're really tired. Just, I'm so tired. I've not slept.
What?
I was marking your work.
Cameron Diaz's band teacher. I'm not doing it.
But she has Louis Vuitton, so,
Oh, well, there's it. Yes.
worth it. Red sole shoes, love it.
Anyway, I don't know. I
I have
don't
no idea what's happening
No,
anymore.
nor me. Right, let's start. We're going to each tell a story, and we've got an order already prepared. I'm going to go first with a cautionary tale from Stand Up, Part 1.
Ooh, part 1.
Oh,
Part 1.
it's
Part 1?
It's a two-part story.
No. There are several different cautionary tales from Stand Up that I can
It's
tell.
like the cat slide of storytelling. This is great.
Say that again, Steph.
Am I in any of them?
You're bound to be in some of them at some point.
Oh.
Don't gig with Steph.
Right.
no.
After me is Adam. Adam, what story are you telling?
It is about. So I've got a very, very good record at Edinburgh Fringe, like perfect record of watching good shows, and this is the day where I got everything wrong. Everything.
I've had those days.
Yes, I've had those days at Edinburgh Fringe. After Adam, it's Hannah Platzer.
Hi.
What you doing?
Hi, I am going to tell you about what it's like to do a rural touring theatre show.
That is
Rural tour theatre show.
So middle class.
Yeah.
Yes.
After Hannah,
Being an actor is so middle class.
No.
We know
Yes.
Rural,
Yes, it is.
Rural
Yes, it
theatre.
is.
Yeah. After Hannah, it's Mikey. Mikey, what's your story about?
My story is a coming of age drama about one man's journey into spoken word.
Are there
You had
any...
a proper logline for it and everything.
That's your arts council application tagline, wasn't it?
Oh,
That's
shit.
beautiful.
It's gonna be.
And then after Mikey, it's Steph. What story are you telling, Steph? And have you got the verbal permission of the person you're telling it about?
I have got the verbal permission, as you've just heard me ringing. Because just before I went, oh no, what if he doesn't want these ones told? So I am going to tell a multitude of mini stories of how I've nearly ended up fatherless on Christmas Day.
By choice.
No, never by choice.
Right.
He's the fun parent.
Let's start. I'm going first.
Yay!
Hey!
It's Dave Pitt.
Stop it.
It's your accent, Steph.
Dave Pitt, ladies and gentlemen.
Steph, it's your accent.
I know,
Right.
but I've become accustomed to it now.
I love it.
You forgot the other half, Hannah.
Dave Peat, the Poet Laureate of Moseley, ladies and gentlemen.
Mosley's in Birmingham.
Moseley. I just like saying it.
Right.
The
Cautionary tale of stand-up comedy.
cautionary tales of stand-up comedy.
The first.
Part 1.
Oh, it's Act 1.
Steph, me and you started about the same time, didn't we? Like 2011-ish.
No, I think I started slightly earlier.
Oh, did you?
Already the legitimacy of this story has been questioned.
I was about 2009,
Oh, right.
2010.
I was 16.
I
hate you.
I was a few gigs in before I met you, Steph. So this was before I met you on the circuit. It was about my fifth, sixth gig. And what it was all being done through Bridge North. So Bridge North were having an arts festival and they decided to have a comedy course, right? And they advertised for people who wanted to have a go at stand-up comedy. I'd wanted to do it for years, but I never found a gig. Of course, now you just go to the Ollie Bush, you know what I mean? But you don't know that, do you? So I'd been looking around for years for a stand-up gig, couldn't find one. Saw, this course, I'll go on this course. Did a couple of gigs with them, and the first gig, actually, we were lectured by Mr. Roger Swift.
Oh,
Good.
I feel like we've come full circle.
I feel like that must have been very informative.
Hang on, can I do my impression? Can I do my impression of a Swift gig? Oh, tiny hand. That's it. And then I just need to repeat that like 5 times, and until I make the audience laugh, not because they want to, but out of fear.
Out of fear. I like Roger Swift. It's not my kind of humour, but
get Roger
God
on?
bless him.
Oh,
I'd
Roger's
love-
Roger on next week.
He's really nice. I just don't like prop comedy.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't like one-liners or prop comedy, it's not your thing. But anyway, he came along, he did the stuff. Get to about gig 6. And we have to go to a pub that's way south of Bridge North. It's like the furthest I'd been to a gig at this point. And we are doing a comedy and curry night.
All the C's like it.
And they've
Not all
charged...
of them. The main one's not there. But
Now, bearing in mind...
Crisps?
crisps.
There are 6 or 7 acts on. All of them have had less than 10 gigs. Right?
Right.
They
Was
are
that
charged.
purposeful?
No, it's just because we'd only just started.
Just the way it worked out. Like it wasn't like a new act night.
No. It was
Right.
just advertised as comedy and curry. They charged £6.
I'm
Is
sorry,
the
what?
curry included?
Yeah. First question, we're both like, do you get the curry though?
Yeah, you get the
That's
curry.
all right then.
No, it's not. That's not
Hold
right.
on,
Because
hold
you should never eat a £6 curry. Never.
No.
No, this wasn't a £6 curry. This was like boiling the bag £1.50 job. Right?
Oh,
It was
no.
not a good curry. We turn up at this pub.
This might be the saddest thing.
Right. Well, hold on. We turn up at this pub. And I'm early. I'm always early. Walk in. Get a drink at the bar. Me and my mates sit down. The landlord comes over and goes, "You can't sit there." Like, oh. Where do you want me to sit? Expecting him to say, "Oh, we've got a little section that we've put aside for the acts round the back. We've even put a bit of food on for you. Go and enjoy yourself."
Go and have a naan.
Yeah. Nah, he just looked at me and went, "That ain't my problem. You ain't sitting there," and walked off.
I mean,
Charming fellow.
it literally is his problem. It's
As the landlord.
100% his problem. Could you imagine that in any a football stadium? Sorry, you can't sit there. Where can I sit? Oh, okay, I don't care. The steward going, just not there, you dick.
Well, you say that. A mate of mine went to the Stadium of Light, Sunderland's ground, the day they opened it. And he had tickets for row Y. And he got into the stadium and he walked up to the steps and they'd only built to row U.
Oh my god.
They hadn't got the back rows built yet. And he's like... so goes to the steward and he's like... And the steward's like, I don't know. And in the end, the back few rows ended up sitting around the edge of the pitch.
Oh,
No.
like they were in assembly.
So they're reception kids. It's fine.
The reception kids at the front on the floor.
Because it was the opening game at the new stadium, they had some entertainment on. And the entertainment turned out to be status quo.
I mean,
So
what?
Yeah, so he's sitting on the turf watching status quo. He says his brother turned round to a copper and went, "Mate, can you get me off the same field as this bunch of cunts?" And the copper's like, "Nah, mate." He said, "How do you think I feel? I've got to fucking stay here all day listening to him." Nobody likes status quo.
Not even status quo's
quo.
parents like status quo.
Come on.
It's like you too.
Oh no, I don't like them.
Good. That means you're an okay human being.
Anyway, this pub, south of Bridge North, right? Comedy and curry night. I've got nowhere to sit. We wandered around and we managed to find a little table with 2 seats that we could sit at. Then all the other acts turn up and we're like, okay. And we ended up standing outside. Fortunately, it was a summer's evening. It was kind of warm and it wasn't raining. Otherwise, I don't know what we'd have done. This pub gets packed, right? For a comedy and curry night featuring 6-7 acts who have hardly done comedy.
Oh my god.
This pub is in a U shape, okay?
Yeah.
And we're at
With like
one
the bar
end.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't see the other end of the U because there's a wall around the bar.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. We're at one end of the U. Right?
imagine being fucked over by a vowel in the shape. Jesus.
We're at one end of the U. Steph's going, I've done these gigs. No one can see us other than about 5 people. There is no stage. When we get there, there's no microphone. It's just literally, that's where you're doing it. So you have to stand there. It gets absolutely rammed. Like there are 70, 80 people in there.
It must have been like 100 degrees.
Yeah. Only about the first 5 people can see you because you're standing there and the front row of the audience is literally standing in front of you like you're having a conversation with someone. No one else can see you. The people the other side can't even hear you because they haven't even got the sound to go round. It's an absolute fucking atrocious gig, right?
And of course, because you've got to shout, the first 5 people on the first row being shouted at, and that's weird. Oh my god!
There was one person who had some common sense. This woman kind of barged to the front with a stool, sat down, and kind of like plonked herself down, and it gave us a bit of a gap between us and the crowd. I don't mind intimate gigs, but that was just ridiculous.
You're practically sat on them.
It's at this point. So you've got to realise if you've never done stand-up or never done live performance, and now we all have, you've got that adrenaline going beforehand, haven't you? And those nerves are going and whatever. And you can imagine this is like our 6th, 7th gig. We're shitting bricks. But you're not really taking everything in because you can't. Your brain just can't process everything. So it wasn't until later I realised, hang on, That pub was rammed at £6 a head. He didn't pay £6 per curry.
No.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. He's walked out of there making a killing, and everyone's bought drinks. We got nothing. We didn't even get a free curry. Steph's going, yeah, stand up gig, right? But the guy who's emceeing it is Cautionary Tales from Stand Up Part 2. Right? So the guy who's emceeing it didn't do a very good job emceeing it. And it was like, it was just dying. The night was just dying.
That can just really ruin the whole thing, though, can't it? Even if the acts are good, like, you've got no chance.
A bad MC ruins every... I can't...
He introduced me...
Oh, no.
as someone who swears more than Chubby Brown.
Oh, my...
Why invoke that nightmare imagery?
Which I don't, by the way. I swear, but I don't swear that much. It also, when you say that, you're kind of saying to people, oh, Chubby Brown's coming on. You know what I mean? That kind of humour, which is not what I do.
No, let me just like, you're over here. And Chubby Brown's through that wall. He's in a different county.
Yeah. He's on Brighton Pier.
Yeah.
The old one that he's on fire on.
Yeah, he's on
Pier.
fire on Brighton Pier. Wow.
I managed to do my set, and I purposefully did not swear all the way through, because that's how much of a cunt I am. It's just like,
I see what you did there, Dave. It's a very welcome.
You're going to introduce me like that. I'm going to show you, right?
That was a good use of comic juxtaposition there,
it was,
Dave. I appreciated
it?
Now we know why you can stand up.
Look at his face. What is coming? What is happening here?
We get to the end of the night, right? Everyone goes on.
For the sake of the stream, I can't see Dave's face.
It's beautiful.
I'll do his face as I go on forward. Okay, just for you, Mikey.
Lovely. Okay.
Don't you fucking dare, Adam. Right.
But slightly behind as well. That's beautiful.
Slightly behind. Adam, you're doing me head in neck.
Sorry,
Because what I'm doing now is I'm watching you and then thinking, is that what I did about 2 seconds ago? Fuck off! You know when,
like
you know when
your
kids
like,
mirror you?
everything you're saying. This is great.
This is going to be the next hour, isn't it?
Now, so I know I do.
Adam,
Oh no,
Adam.
I've frozen. So Hannah, you do my voice. You do my face, and we'll go.
Right.
Hang on, does that then mean that...
I feel the stories are now lost. We're just going to watch Mike. We're just going to watch Mike really confused as Dave has an actual meltdown live on the internet.
You know when people mention existential crisis?
Yeah.
This is it.
We're all having one, Mike, apart from Adam, who's loving it.
I'm making Hannah give blowjobs. The streak is broken.
Autonomy in this.
Right. Where was I? Yes, I was in Bridgenall.
The man
pub,
who was
right.
being the MC.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was awful. Got through the night. It was not a good gig by any stretch of the imagination. But because it's it's my 6th, 7th gig. I don't really know any better. The nerves are going, and you're more like, oh. It didn't really start sinking in until a little while later. What had gone on, and it made me realise that I kind of had a little bit of, I suppose it was karma in a way. A few years before, I'd been doing some roadieing work for a Queen tribute act, because that's how I roll.
Which one?
Flash.
Oh, okay.
They were all right.
Yeah, they're all right.
And I took the piss out the bass player the once.
It's not hard to do.
Yeah. It was actually a great one. one of the rehearsals, they used to rehearse at this. They used to rehearse at this leisure centre, and they got all these like AstroTurf pitches outside. And instead of carrying his bass amp from the van into the leisure centre, we thought it'd be really funny to carry it to the other side of the football pitches and just dump it in the middle of the football pitch, right? He thinks we've set his bass amp up. It's all set up. They're having a drink before they start, and he's standing out and he's looking at all these football pitches. The drummer comes over to him and goes, "Nice pitches, aren't they?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're really nice. It's good setup, this." And his bass amp is just sitting in the middle of a football, and he can't see it.
Oh my god.
And this goes on and on and on until we're all just cracked up. And he's going, "What's funny?" And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you bastard!" Just his bass amp at the other side of it. Anyway.
You deserved everything you got.
He showed me their rider. And their rider was like, "Okay, we need this power in the building. We need this, that, the other. So many drinks. We need a shower. A shower that must operate between these temperatures." Right? And I'm like, "The fuck do you think you are, Dave Lee Roth? You know what I mean? What's all this? You wank." And he went,
I presume they think they're Queen.
No, he went mad at me. And he went, I've had it with this. He says, "This is taking the piss." He says, "I'll tell you why we do that. Because we turn up to gig, we give it 100%, we're dripping with sweat, and all we want before we get in the van and do 150 miles back home is a shower. So you ask them for a shower, and there is a shower, but it doesn't work. So on the next ride, you put, we want a shower that works. And you turn up, and you turn the shower on, and it works, but it's cold. So then you go, I want a shower that works, that's hot. So you go to the next one, and you turn the shower on, and it's boiling hot, and it's too hot. And then you put, I want a shower that operates between these temperatures. He said, then a fat bastard like you comes up and has a go at us, fuck off. And I was like...
You know when Steph mentioned the therapy locking?
It was... I've got to be honest, though, he had a point.
A lot of places, people who have been who work at theatres who've like been and they had like stupid riders in. It's because the rider will also include like all their safety stuff, and they're like, well, if they can't get this shit fucking right, we don't trust them getting all of our safety. So they'll put like stuff on. We want exactly 6 satsumas, and it sounds ridiculous, but if we've got apples rather than satsumas, it's like they can't get that shit right. How are we going to trust them to fly anything?
Yeah,
it proves that they've read it as well. That
was the thing with Van Halen, wasn't it? Dave Lee Roth. They had this thing about brown M&Ms.
Yeah, brown.
And he said if we turned up and there was no brown M&Ms, we knew everything was okay. But they had all this safety stuff, so the crew was safe during the gig. And this was kind of my little kismet for that. Was this kind of, I turned up at a gig, and it made me not realise because I kind of knew it in a way, but really brought it home how badly the talent is treated. You know what I mean? This kind of, why is it, Steph? You'll know this as well as any of us. You go to stand-up gigs. You go Bristol, 100-odd miles. You get there for 10 minutes. They haven't got a seat. They don't even get you a drink. You know what I mean? You have to pay your own petrol there. You have to pay for a drink. Usually pay for a meal. You drive all the way back, and you get 10 minutes for 3 people. And then the person who's organised the gig is getting 50 quid off the fucking pub to run the night. And you're like, we need to treat artists better, is what I'm saying. That was the whole point of this. Cautionary
The reason that they don't is because they're fully aware there is always some other performing monkey who will do it for those stipulations.
Because, exposure. Like,
The problem with it is that it means that like the people who keep doing it are the people who've got like private wealth that can afford to do it. Do you know what I mean? It stops a lot of people from being involved in it because you have to like drive yourself there, pay for your petrol, like all of that stuff. That's the problem with it, is it like it makes the industry so, like,
when me,
I didn't hear what you said.
what did you say?
It was probably an insult. It's fine.
I just insinuated you had private wealth.
I really don't. I wish I did.
I mean, it's not even an insinuation anymore.
When
Yeah, but I wish I was as rich as the jokes make me out to be, because I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Let me tell you that.
when me and the lovely Rob Kemp used to run Anarchy at the UK pub. Anarchy at the UK, you see.
That's clever. See, I know why you're in this game.
Yeah, we negotiated off the pub £10 for every act and a free drink.
That's decent enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it can be done, and we didn't take any money. Me and Rob didn't take any money from that.
See, at least it's only one of you doing it. When it's like a group of like 8 of us doing improv for that stuff, and you're like, good, yummy, yum, yum.
Yeah.
8 of us doing 10 minutes.
Like there's 8 of us and we take a split of the door. So it's like, right, how are we going to share this £12 between us?
I mean, what I love is everyone on the go, just put it in the just spend it on.
Yeah.
Just petrol money. Petrol money.
You can imagine my absolute delight when we turned up at the first one of these and we were given a free bottle of water.
No.
Yeah.
It was
dead
very nice
as well. We had a can of water one time.
Yeah.
That made me feel very lovely, Posh. Yummy, yummy in my tummy, yummy, tummy, tum, tum.
Yeah. That was nice.
So that was it, really. That was my story. Are you
Thank
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Who's next?
Can I quickly tell the story of the worst MC I've ever had?
Oh yeah.
It was just fuck me. It was like because I've done 3 stand-up gigs in my life. One went well, the other 2. No, one went well, one went okay, and the other one I've stopped.
I never did stand up again.
Yeah. But the second gig, so the first gig was amazing. It was like an open mic night with loads of people, like full on loads of people. I was like, all right, I'll go to the second one. And there was like no one there, like an audience of about 4, and there were 6 people on the bill, like a mixed bill, not just comedians. It was mostly like acoustic acts and poets and comedians. But the MC between every single person to these 3 people in the crowd did 15 minutes. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So between every single person?
Yeah, he did between 10, 15 minutes between every single person, and then he did like a half an hour at the beginning as well to warm the 3 people up. And it was just shite patter from him. His patter was shite.
I think we've all done gigs like that. It's just kind of... yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. That clown, Adam.
What?
I wasn't there for the clown. I wasn't. I heard.
What's the clown? Go on, quickly.
I don't think I can. I don't know because I don't want them to watch it.
It's also a full story. It's not an anecdote. It's a
I
full
might do it
story.
as a story. Yeah. I did an improv gig where the in between each act there was a clown, and it was terrifying. I don't like clowns.
Oh no!
But the man himself, I was behind like backstage, like in the corridor where we left our bags, and I was getting my jumper out my bag or something, and he came in his full clown thing and was just like really lovely and so nice, like, oh hey, great gig out there, that was wonderful, yeah, like really really nice, and I was like, oh, I'm trapped in a corridor with a clown. And it was terrifying.
When I was at college, a mate of mine said he looked at me with, oh, I'm sorry if I've already told this, looked at me with this absolutely horrified look on his face and just went, turn around, is there a clown standing behind you? And I went,
nope.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he went, Thank fuck for that, because there was a clown standing behind me, and he said, I genuinely thought I was having an acid flashback.
I don't like them. I've never liked them. I don't like them.
What, acid flashbacks?
Yeah,
Both.
They're terrible, aren't they?
Right.
Shocking.
Anyway, up next, Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, I am fucking great at choosing what to watch at Edinburgh Fringe. Like, just mwah, 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 mwah. I've been up to Fringe twice, done 3 shows at Fringe, and this is the first time I was there. So overall, Dave's just having a little piss.
I'm genuinely not.
Having a cheeky piss there, Dave.
It's not me.
Oh, it's not. It's...
I was pouring a drink.
I thought you were pouring a drink as well.
It's only-
It was me pouring out of my flask.
Oh, okay. Well, your flask that
But I wanted to keep the lie going longer because Dave's face was so outraged.
Hannah, is that the flask that you can't drink from because it blinds you?
Because it has a design flaw whereby the lid hits you in the eye when you drink.
Oh no!
So
Also-
I decant it into my cup.
Beautiful. Just don't wave your lid at us. That's not a good sentence, is it?
So, because I was driving my car once and I had to take a sip of coffee because it might have been when we were going to London and you said something about the nipple in my eye and then everything just got ridiculous.
So I'll get us back on track. Just like
Yes, please do.
I've spent 16 days in Edinburgh Fringe and I've watched. I've got a list somewhere. I think it's 31 shows. While for half of that, I was doing 2 shows a day as well. And of those 31 shows, I've only had 2 that were fucking awful. Like,
It's a pretty good ratio.
I'm really good at watching. Like, I adore and mostly only go and see stuff on the free Fringe, where it's pay what you want. So a lot of the bobslayer venues are pay what you want, and it's a brilliant model. It's a far much better model than Fringe, Edinburgh Fringe as a whole, where what you do is you give them all your money, and that's it. Which is the model for most of Fringe.
One of my cautionary tales from stand up is about the free Fringe, because although Bob Slayer is a legend,
Yep.
and he should run Edinburgh Fringe,
Without a doubt.
there are other
The
free
other
Fringe-
guy's a cockhole. JBH, is it JBH?
PBH.
PBH. Oh, he can suck a dick.
We were going. In fact, this is going to be one of my stories. One of the weeks we were going to go up. Well, we
Peter
did go
Bowden
up
Hall?
under PBH, and I was doing Anarchy at the time, and I said to all the comedians at the back, I went, "We're going up with PBH. Has anyone got any experience with PBH?" And James Cook just shouted out, "I would have nothing to do with that exploding clown car of an organisation."
Yep. Also, if you've done free Fringe that isn't PBH, you're not allowed back on PBH.
Yeah.
Because he's a prick.
Their materials are really shoddy as well and like badly written. Not that
Everything
I'm
they
just
do.
going to trounce them online like hi, but like they need a graphic designer to sort them out.
I've never been to the Fringe, but I've got a feeling it would be the sort of place where I'd go and I'd immediately need physiotherapy.
Yep.
Yeah,
There are a lot of cobbles.
A lot of cobble.
Lots of
It's
cobbles, lots
it's
of
the only
stairs.
place in the world now where cobble naturally forms.
Hills and cobbles.
it's
A mate
also
of mine
like an
went-
Escher drawing. You
Yeah.
will leave a venue. You'll go uphill to the next venue, and then you'll go back to the first venue, and it will be uphill.
Somehow you're still going uphill.
A mate of mine went for like the day because he had a play on. He wasn't performing in it, and he said, "Mike, to be honest, it was very lovely, but I just wanted a cup of tea and a sit down."
Yeah.
And I sort of got
I
the
do
feeling-
factor that into my day when I'm in Edinburgh, to be fair.
I always make sure I get a space in the Oxford bar and just drink heavily and read a rebus novel.
Yeah, and I always have my favourite breakfast at my favourite cafe. So good.
I really fucking miss Fringe. At the same
Oh
time,
my
Fringe
God.
is terrible. But yeah, so this was the first time we'd been up, and we were up with Uni. So we were up with the Uni Theatre Society. We had a great show, but we had like a show at 1. No, show at 1 and a show at 4.
Nice.
So
In the shower, and I was like,
So we had our serious acting show at 1 till 2, and then it's 1 till 2 and then 3 till 4.
Question: were you
That's
wearing
a
that
nightmare.
turtleneck?
No, I was playing like a 12-year-old, mate. I was clean shaven. It looked terrible.
Excellent.
So like 1 till 2
Cutting
show, 3 till 4 show. The 3 till 4 show, I was dressed as a cardinal, like not the bird, an actual papal cardinal. And in the end of that show, incidentally, we decided that the next pope should be Cardinal Acorn, who was an acorn. But we made a little cardinal outfit for the acorn. Oh, it was so much funny, so much wit. Drama
society,
so shit. Great show. But yeah, so what we do is after that, either early in the morning we'd go and watch like a show, or after that we'd go and watch. We'd get out of our cardinal outfit, apart from the one day where we got hammered in it, and then we all turned up the next day and our outfits all smelled of beer. That was a mistake. Mainly because no one can trust a Catholic cardinal who reeks of tequila, because everyone's like, this is weird mix of things. So we'd get out, get redressed. Normally by about 5:30, we'd go out and just watch shows all evening, and then go in. And that night I'd seen a really, really good sketch show. It was the non-wanky Oxford Footlights, Cambridge Footlights, whatever, sketch show. Genuinely hilarious. One of them is now I'm really good friends with, but they were fucking hilarious. And I was like, this is going to be the greatest night of theatre and comedy ever.
Can someone pick that clang up off the floor? Adam's just dropped.
I don't know. They're not. They are not famous in any way, and they didn't go into comedy. He's just a really nice bloke.
Oh.
So what I'll do, I'll drop my clanger for name dropping a really good primary school teacher. Oh, it's such a heavy clang. He lives in Walthamstow.
Where the Greyhound Stadium is.
Exactly.
As you were.
Carry on. But I was full on like, boom, gonna be the greatest night of comedy ever. I'm on a roll. I've watched 15 shows now at this Fringe, and they've all been 3-star at worst. Pew pew pew. Which is I was in 2 3-star shows. 3-star is pretty swish. That's what I tell my mum every day. It's fine, Mum. I am a real artist. I got 3 stars.
One of my shows got 1 and 5-star reviews. That's just the way it goes.
I had we got a 1-star review on like the terrible like audience review thing, and I printed it off and put it on the wall. It was like, this is the best review ever, because someone hated it that much. I was like, yes, proud. But I went to the next show, and the next show was it was an improv show. And I hadn't yet started doing improv. I was like, I like improv. It is silly. I've seen a few improv shows already, and they are normally a fucking hoot. Normally the room was like, it was like 80 seats a room. The other one, it was like fucking full. There was like 90 people in there, standing room only. Oh, it was a joy to behold. Yum, yum, yum in my improv tongue. Fabulous. This one, we got in, and it was a huge sort of like dance floor you get in a club. There was a stage and loads of seats, and we got in, and there was 8 people in the room.
Wait, was it in espionage?
I don't fucking know, mate. I was also drunk. No, I wasn't drunk at this point, but I don't know. It was like one of those. You're like, there's a sign outside, and you're like, venue.
I bet it was.
You're like, sure.
I bet it was, yeah.
Probably.
That's the one by the castle, isn't it? That's slung out on its own.
Yeah,
it's
it wasn't.
Like, you can go in at the bottom level or the top level, depending on where you are.
It was. Yeah, it might have been.
Is it the castle end of Cowgate, but also it's on the top level? It's a different road.
No, this one was. Oh, I don't fucking know. It was in Edinburgh.
Oh.
You know, that one.
That one.
No, sit down.
So, yeah, we should have known at that point when there's 8 people in this, like, million-seater room that it's not going to be good. And we sat down, me and my friend Jade sat down. We were like, oh, we both like a little bit of improv. We like a little bit of improv. Yeah, we do. Right. And we sat there.
Well, we also Cockney Orphans.
Oh,
come on, mister. I like a little bit of improv, I do. Oh, come on. Let's go in this venue here. They've got a dance floor. We could have a dance if we don't like the comedy, sir.
I like the improv because it makes me forget.
Extra. Hear all about it. I like comedy.
I like the improv.
Throw a newspaper.
It makes me forget about my terrible, terrible life.
Extra. I forgot about the look in my mother's eyes when she died for about 10 minutes during that show.
I lost my leg up a chimney.
Extra. Read all about it.
You know when people do that impression of a voice, like of a person trapped inside their mouth. Have you seen it? That's what Hannah's voice sounds like. All of it. Oh, that might be the best thing I've ever heard.
Oh dear. Oh, little Timmy would love to be here, but he died in the night because he was so sad.
Oh, he got consumption on his chest, didn't he, sir?
Oh, whoa.
Don't worry, though, because I've got his handkerchief, and it's a good one. It's only half sodden with blood, sir. I can use the other corner to dry my eyes.
Don't
Because
worry,
I laugh so hard
Timmy.
at that comedy.
Timmy, have you got only a half-sodden handkerchief, Timmy?
Oh, no, sir, of course not, sir. No,
That
that's...
will be a penny, Timmy. A
Oh,
pretty
sir,
penny
please
for the
don't take my last penny. Please, sir, I've only got one left.
Timmy.
Please. I need it to eat to live.
Why do you say what?
You've yet to pay me bed and board for the month, Timmy.
I need it to buy newspapers to sell.
Timmy!
I'll eat my hat instead then, sir.
Look, Timmy,
Oh,
I've made you your
sweet.
favourite stone soup. There's enough water this time to get your teeth wet.
Oh, sir, you're so kind.
Yes.
I don't
now,
remember the last time I got my teeth wet, sir.
now allow me to count my money outrageously in front of you. Oh, so
sir,
many blues. So
Please,
many
my
blues.
eyes are being blinded. My eyes are so blinded from the shine off them coins.
Timothy.
Please, sir, it's named after my father, Timothy.
Timothy Senior.
See, this noise, this laughter was not heard during the gig.
They should have just done that instead.
Segue backwards.
After about 10 minutes, Jade went up to me and went, Adam. That's not her voice. Adam. Yes, Jade. Adam. Yes, Jade. Adam. Yes, they know who you are, Adam. That was established in Act 1. Yes. Look, Adam. This is shit. It is properly shit. This is pretty much word for word. This is absolutely shit. Yes. Shall we leave? No. The window for leaving has passed. Because there wasn't enough people in there to leave.
You can't do it. You can't.
If it in the first 5 minutes, we could have done the. Oh shit! So, what's wrong? What's
Oh,
wrong?
we're in the wrong. Oh no.
We are completely wrong. I'm so look. We'll put. Money
I can't
we'll put money in the
even do
bucket. We'll put
that.
money in the bucket. Put money in the bucket. It's fine. But no,
I feel too bad.
So we sat there and we were giggling so much at when the rest of the room was deadly silent because we were just going, "Oh my God, isn't that fucking worst?" And they had so much confidence. They had all the confidence you expect. It was 50. It was like half women, half men, and they had all of them had the confidence that you'd expect of someone who was at Oxford. Like, come on, guys, great, lovely, loving it, great. I can have a suggestion. Well,
What you're doing there is me on stage, and I don't like it.
I'm in this photo, and I don't.
I'm in this photo, and I don't like it.
It got to the point because about halfway through the audience just stopped giving a fuck.
Oh, no.
So they had to go. Any suggestions? Well, it's fine. Well, any suggestions, guys? Any suggestions? A dinosaur. Wonderful. Well, we'll do a dinosaur. It's just like, oh, we hate this. And then the awkward thing about 5 minutes till the end, they're like, well, we're going to do our last game now, but we're going to just turn the house lights up. And it was this. By which I mean, they turn the house lights up. They just sort of flicked a switch on the side of the stage.
It's just like that.
The strip lighting.
Flickering, like strip lights. Yeah.
And we're going to go around with the bucket.
Is it like that bit in Cool Runnings?
Oh,
where
what?
they
They went round.
They went round with a bucket around the audience, and we're even shaking the bucket like you're not allowed to do legally. They broke the law.
You can't shake your bucket.
Can't shake your bucket,
You can't shake your bucket.
which is my favourite Shakira song.
You can't shake your bucket.
I hate myself. But yeah, they went round
Oh,
shaking the
no.
bucket. So
That's horrendous.
Yeah, I apologise. What we did was go. Should we just
no coins.
we just put a number of flyers for our shows in the bucket, and looked them in the eye and went, "Yeah." And then Jade, bless her, went, "Oh no, hang on, I do have something for you," and just put in like coppers, really obviously, just like.
The way to do it, like that I've found, if like it's been really shit, but like they're standing at the door holding the bucket, is to look them dead in the eye while you're putting the coins in. So you've got like 4 2p's, and you look them dead in the eye, like vicious eye contact, and go, "Thank you so much, that was a wonderful," while you're putting the coins in. So they hear ching 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 ching, but they don't look at what coins it was.
They think, "Oh, that's the ching. That's the delicate ching of a £20 note."
Yeah, they're like £4 coins. Wow, and they're like, "Thank you so much. That was a great show. Thanks."
Go on, Mikey.
Because they can't resist praise.
If I look at something for too long, I'll go cross-eyed, like too intensely. So that in itself can get quite.
You must hate the cinema.
I mean, like if I focus on like a small,
Like an object, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You must hate the cinema where it's just footage of a coin falling into a bucket for 3 hours. So that was show number 1, which wasn't terrible. It was like it was a solid 1 star, but it earned the 1 because I got a lot of joy out of it afterwards, because we left and were skipping away, going, "That was the fucking worst." Yes, we were really disrespectful to them, but at the same time, they wasted my time. And as someone who's been on stage for those gigs, karma's a bitch, but you know, the world universe is balanced out now. But so far, the night is rescuable. 1 good show, 1 bad show. 50. That's my first bad show at the Fringe. I'm not going to get 2 in a row. Chatting at the bar with a comedian who we'd met the night before in a what was it? What's the fucking awful place? The big bar in Fringe on the Cowgate, and it's got like 30 different rooms in it.
That's most of them, isn't it?
Witches? Is it the Witches?
Three Sisters.
Three Sisters. Which
yeah.
I love the Three Sisters as a place to get drunk in, and I love
it used to just be a pub. Like when I started going, it was just a pub, and it was great. And then they turned it into 50 venues, like in the pub that are like behind a curtain and stuff. And now it's like
there is one venue upstairs which is literally a cupboard. And it sits 8 in it, and I've seen some of the best comedy in there because they're like, right, this is a weird room. We're gonna have a load of fun. But we went up to they had their fucking huge biggest space they've got. And this comedian went, well, I know you like improv-y stuff and you like stand-up and we like silly. So we've got Comedians Against Humanities on in a bit, where the comedians get there's 8 comedians, they get a draw out of a Cards Against Humanities thing and have to do like a 5-minute riff on it, and they do like games and stuff. You're like, that could be great. So there's gonna be like 6 of us now. So we went in, paid nothing because it was I think we decided on this one. We're like, whatever happens, we're going to give them some money because we're not really happy with what we did in the last place, but we'll give them something. And we were like 6 of us in the front row. And we sat down, and within a minute, we all went, "Oh no, this is the worst." Because there is a clever way of taking Cards Against Humanity cards and making them funny. I think the first one that had it was the Gays. The card was called the Gays, and you're like, "Oh, okay." And the guy, a comedian behind me, who's on a bill, and we'd seen it a couple of days before, went, "Oh, you could," and he did the kind of whisper of like, "I want everyone to hear that I'm really clever."
My idea is,
and she went, "Oh, you could do a thing about with the Z. Your eyes aren't working. That way you can make, and then make a thing about, and then make a thing about how you got the card wrong. And the guy came out and went, puffs, right?" And we were like, no. And the night just spiraled from there. Like every single way these comedians could try and make it offensive, and the crowd was like lapping it up, and we were like, "No, what the shit? What have we walked into?"
Those things like that can be really funny if the people are good, and if they're not, it's like the most interminable thing.
It was a full house, and the crowd were on the whole eating it fucking up. Everything. Like misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, rape jokes. You know, the full house of "I'm a shit comedian and I'm really not good at this," and just the audience is going hum nom 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 nom. Hum nom 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 nom. Oh, let's fill my right-wing belly.
It's just why research and development is important,
right? And we did something we'd never ever done. I've never done since during a comedy show, which is about 25 minutes in, as a group of us at 6 in the front row just went, "Nope," and just fucked off.
Left.
I said, right on the front row, a large group of us just sort of went, "Nope, sorry, not for
Oh
not
my
for us."
god. The power trip.
We're like, it was great. We left and we're like, raw, but
I'm invincible.
As we tried to leave, they were clearly like going, why are you guys leaving? I'm gonna make a little pick on these guys. What? And my mate Ed, who's like an actor, and he's just, but at the time he's a huge fuck off rugby player, and he was just the most intimidating person he wanted to be. Just turned and went, "Because we don't like what you're doing."
Oh god!
And the five of us left, and Ed just went, "So, are we okay to leave?" And the stand-ups went, "Yeah, you can go, but we will we will probably make fun of you after you go. And he went, fine. That's well within your right. Just as I'm in my right to say, I don't think you're funny. And I was at the door at this point going, oh no, we're going to be murdered by all of these people. All of them. And that was, so after that we were like, fuck this. We went to the haunted pub. It's in Edinburgh, there's fucking loads of them. But there was pool all night, it was a free pool table, there was karaoke, and that's the night I woke up the next morning with my memory gone under the cowgate with an empty bottle of Buckfast, cuddling a dog. And never has a night gone from hey! So quickly.
Do we know if the dog was still related to the fox?
Not all animals that I fall in love with. Mate. Nor do I have a type because the dog was blonde.
But that doesn't mean we don't wish it wasn't. We don't wish it was.
I wish they were. I wish they were cousins. Just saying. The fox has gone. Adam's clearly having a bad night. Couldn't one of you go and make sure he's okay? That was oddly an Andrew Maxwell impression. Oh no, squeaky voice comedian. Yeah. No. Anyway, yeah. So that's my terrible night at Fringe, which turned into a lovely time for all.
Adam Unwin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
Yeah, I the only terrible show I saw at the Fringe. I've seen shows that was like, you really need a script editor.
Yeah.
But it was a stand-up show, and it was like a 5 or 6 comics, and it was fucking atrocious. And the way I got out of putting any money in the bucket was the guy who was emceeing it had the bucket, and I got to the door before he did. So he's like, I'm going to go to the back of the room with the bucket, and then there's just there's just a shimmer. And
like there's
someone
the
appears
sort
to
of
have
dust.
left.
There's the dust where you were.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm not putting.
I've seen some bad stuff, but I have been to 10 Fringes, so I feel like ratio-wise, I'm bound to have seen more shit things than the average person.
I'm really proud of my ratio.
Normally I definitely have seen way more good stuff than shit stuff, but I have seen some things that were shit.
I've never been.
No,
do you like not having your money?
It bankrupts
it's a
me.
regular occurrence.
It's probably the reason why I'm so skint, because I've been so many times to the Fringe, just like, I don't have the money for this, but I'm going anyway because you're my first love. And then it's like, oh God, what have I done?
Absolutely hemorrhage money.
Yeah. Like every year we plan to be like, right, we're gonna take food with us and cook for ourselves, and we'll take our own cheap little gin and just put it into our drinks. And I did do that a bit. I've got my hip flask, because it's fine. But in the end, you're just like, no, I'm gonna spend £8 on mac and cheese off this van and go and
But it's so good.
It's so good. They do crispy
mac and
onion
cheese
bits.
pies.
Macaroni pies are my favourite thing in the world.
It tastes like a heart attack.
It's so good.
I'm just like, I hope there are accessible toilets. Fuck the food.
Mate, I'm telling you.
I just want to wee.
It would be. A lot of the venues are probably not accessible, I would say, because there's
the only ones I can think of are the ones in the hotel.
Yeah, the hotel ones. Yeah.
And maybe Pleasance Courtyard.
Pleasance Dome has got a lift.
I was in that tiki bar, which apparently is now shut down.
I know. Yeah. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a price list, and it was like IPA a £5. Okay.
I went in there and couldn't get served and had to leave.
Lucky you. So
lucky escape.
I'm expecting a pint, a 330ml can for a £5. He nearly had it in his fucking face.
The only way that we afford to do it is by knowing people who have got shows on in all the different venues and being like, hi, we're production staff. Can we have your discount?
That's how you do it. Oh, right, okay. Anyway, let's move on. On that note, she steals tickets from the Fringe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hannah Platt.
Yay!
Plats,
You have to-
plats.
Yay! You have to tell me if I'm going on because I haven't really got any structure to this. I only thought about it just before we came on.
What's
You
next?
just
So-
explained my career in 5
Give me,
minutes.
give me the hook if I keep talking too long. I was talking to my best friend this afternoon, and I was like, I don't know what story I'm going to do. And she went, what about Pra Sands? And I was like, oh no, that's what I'll do.
Bra Sands.
Pra. So it's Praa. Pra Sands. So it's a place in Cornwall.
Sounds like, did they get
Sounds like
halfway
a
through
font.
naming it and then die?
I have no
Pra
idea.
Sands.
And then you meet people who are like, oh, it's pronounced pray actually. And then the people there are like pray. Oh my God. Yeah.
Shrewsbury.
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 Okay, so let's just see. West Midlands, from there, well, from Shropshire, Shrewsbury, Little Miss. I've never left East Midlands. Shrewsbury. That's me. So I was doing your orphan voice again.
You were doing a Cockney accent to say, I've never left the East Midlands, I haven't.
I just got the train up from London today.
I've never been here anywhere but here before, but I just like this voice. Because it's too difficult to do a Leicester accent.
I was gonna make a joke, but the moment's gone. I
Oh.
was gonna say Prarsans, more like Narsans.
I mean, yeah.
Where do you stand on the praline praline debate?
I say
I need
praline.
to go to bed.
Praline.
Praline.
I say praline, but I don't know
Gone.
if that's right.
Carry on.
Anyway, so basically, my two friends, they're like,
Isn't it?
what? Because it's there and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why it can't be scone, because otherwise that joke doesn't work.
I love that.
So anyway, my story.
Not fucking passive aggressive. So yeah, my
So
story.
anyway, listen to what I've got to say. Actually, I'm here now. This is my time. I don't know if you realise, but like this is the time when I'm supposed to speak. Anyway, I'm not feeling very well. So, my two friends and I, they're like my two best friends. We've known each other since we met at uni, and they're like the best people. I love them. And we decided, like, it was around the time when, like, I was at a loose end, and we were, why are you saying twat? That's worse than Tory, almost.
Is it? I had it prepared for so long. On the off chance. I'm sorry.
I'm really struggling here. I don't feel well.
Oh no! In which case, I'll take it back. Hang on.
Oh God.
Take it back and put it back on your head. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, one of my cats has just pooped, so I can smell it. Continue.
That doesn't make me feel better. Why would that make me feel better? So we decided to we had this I was down in her house in Cornwall recuperating by walking by the sea and being like less sad, and she had a phone call from I went there for my health. So I didn't actually. My friend got married there. Anyway,
Yay! Congratulations,
yay.
Hannah's friend.
This is like 5 years ago. So
Still.
still, yes, it was the best wedding I've ever
Anniversaries
been to.
exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And anyway, so we decided to basically, like, this opportunity came up for it. We had a slot available at an open air like theatre thing in Penzance. It's like it's like a little corner of a park basically. And they were like, "Do you want it?" And my friend was like, "Yes." Hung up and went, "Oh, we're doing a show." And we were like, "Okay, what shall we do?" And we'd had this idea like ages ago about doing 12th Night, but just with the three of us. And so we basically were like, right, we're a theatre company now. So we set up a theatre company, and put this show together, and I'm still really proud of it because it was so fucking good. It was like the three of us playing all the parts, and so I had to play Toby and Andrew in Twelfth Night.
There's a lot of twins in Twelfth Night, though, isn't there?
Yeah, so my friend played Violet and Sebastian, so we had to like do this weird thing to work out when they saw each other. It was like her, and yeah, we had to do a lot of. We made it purposefully madcap. I was Toby and Andrew at the same time. Andrew was a hand puppet.
That's brilliant.
If I write you a one-person comedy of errors where you can play both sets of identical twins,
Yes,
would you do it?
I would fucking love that.
Good
I love comedy of errors. Right, do it. I'm on.
I'm wearing a turtleneck and I'm going to write a Shakespeare play.
Yes, do it.
Did you do the song?
We did the songs, yeah. We added in more songs. I did the music for the songs that are in it, and we also added in like sea shanties and stuff. So it was kind of like a cool, yeah. So the whole aesthetic of it was like we were shipwrecked at the beginning, and so all the props were in this big old trunk that we had, and like we had like fishing line strung up out of the trunk that we hung all of the props and costume on, so we could grab it and like get it. And anyway, it was great. So there's like a rural touring, it's like National Rural Touring Forum, and you can put your show in for it. And if you get chosen, you get put into like the little menu booklet. And the Cornish part of that is called Canter Cove. Yeah. So you go into the little booklet, and every venue can pick one show to be subsidised by the like touring forum. And then if they can also book other ones if they want to. So when you go into the menu book, you can stipulate what you want, like how much money you want, and like any things that are required. So some people say we want accommodation provided or whatever, but we didn't bother with any of that. But we did have a thing, one of the stipulations in there that are just in there as like a default is you are provided dinner at the venue. So we had quite a few venues book us, and so they paid us our fee, but also they had to like bring us food. So everywhere we went, it was like a different Cornish granny showed up with like little like a dinner. So the first place we went, I think it was Millbrook. Nice. They'd like made us a lasagna, and then she came out with a little apple crumble and a pot of custard, and I was like, this is the best day of my life. And then we'd like get everything back in my friend's big car and drive off to the next place. And so it was great because everywhere we went, it was like all these like really enthusiastic and like these tiny village halls and stuff. But we had loads of audience because there's like nothing else to do in Lamorna. So like literally down the bottom end of Cornwall. And there's like no phone signal there. There's still like a red phone box next to the village hall with an actual phone in. We were like, what is this? But obviously because they were like tiny venues, we started to document the things that they called the green room in each of the places, because it was around the time that there's this famous theatre photographer called Simon something, and he did a book. It's like a coffee table book. He's not famous, but he's one of the renowned of the theatre photographers.
You just took me exact joke out of my mouth.
Amongst theatre photographers, he is the renowned one, and he did this like coffee table book that the National published, which is called The Half, and it's like these beautiful black and white pictures of actors at the half-hour call. So there's like Kate Blanchett with like lights around her mirror, and she's looking all like the most beautiful woman on earth, and just like all these beautiful little candid shots. And we want to do our version, which is us in a small corridor next to the boiler, like where we can't even, there's not even room to sit down. We're just stood there waiting. Like,
is the photography project I want to see the Arts Council fund.
So we've got loads of pictures because we were like, we'll make a book and call it The Green Room, and it'll be
me in a fucking pub in south of Bridge North.
Yeah, imagine it.
Just outside having a fag in the rain.
Yeah,
outside because you can't even sit down. Yeah, and there was so there are various things, but Pra Sands, which I'm getting to, was the venue that we went to that is literally the middle of nowhere. We turned up there, it was a matinee show. But they had forgotten that they'd booked us for the matinee and had publicised it as an 8 p.m. show. So nobody turned up because they didn't know that we were going to be there.
They were all resting, preparing themselves.
Yeah,
for the
they were all
8
like so ready.
So could you not have stuck around for 8 p.m. or were you booked elsewhere?
No, we had to go, because we were travelling on to the next place then. So we were like, we had another show that night in Penzance. So we were like, oh, great. So we set up and then... What?
Okay, this is just the level of poor admin is annoying me. Carry on. I know. I just couldn't.
We contacted them the day before because we just spotted we were linking to their website and we were like, oh, it says 8 p.m. there and we're on at 3. That's weird. And then we like contacted them and they were like, oh no, okay, yeah, cool. So like to get someone down to unlock the hall and whatever. So
that's how little of a fuck they gave.
Yeah.
We won't even put it out on Facebook.
Yeah. So we set up and then it was like, obviously they were supposed to like give us our dinner and my friend is vegan and the other one was vegetarian at the time. So obviously we'd put on it like, can we have 2 vegan options? And we went in the back room and there was just a plate there with 3 Cornish pasties on it and 3 apples. And I was like, well, that's yours then. Yours are the apples and mine are the pasties. And we hadn't had anything to eat. So then people were like, oh, okay, that's cool. We'll just go into the town and grab something. So I was like, okay. So I'm sitting in this tiny little room with a little like a sort of plywood table with my pasties and 1 thing of HP sauce for some reason. Like I would want to douse my pasties in that. They went off and they were gone for ages. And then they came back and they were sort of muttering to themselves about ham face. And I was like, what's going on? What's happened? What is this? And like, why were you so long? And they were like, everything is shut.
That's my favourite term for
ham
gammon.
Face? And I was like, what is that? So everything was shut and then they eventually found a shop in the town. But as you walked into the shop, there was a like probably 5-foot fiberglass model of a ham, but it had a face and part of it was bitten off. But he looked really like distressed about it, and they were like,
"You would be."
And they were like,
"My face!
Who ate the ham face? The ham, like why?" And then they would not stop talking about this ham. It was like they were so distraught about it. They were like, "Ham."
Sequel to the Baha Man classic. Who ate the ham face?
And literally for like probably years after, and even now, if I message them and just go ham face, they're all like, no, it's because it's so terrifying.
I mean, you know what you're doing right now, don't you?
Yeah. I'm just like, by the way, ham face. So I'm back at the venue, sit down to think, well, I've got 3 pasties to finish off. Well done, me. Bite into it. It's fucking cheese and onion.
Ah, the vegan option. The vegan option.
I was like, surely they can't all be cheese and onion. So I had a bite of all of them and they were. So I was like, you've literally gone, right, we need the vegan option. We'll get them a cheese pasty instead. That'll sort it out. Sorry if I'm looking. There is a queen wasp in here.
Oh.
It's fine. It's over there. I don't think it's going to... But if I do run out the way, it's because the wasp has come for me.
Wasp coming for me.
The wasp has come for
Whilst
me.
we've taken somewhat of a tangential pause in the story, I've Googled theatre photographers called Simon, and it's come up with a man called Simon Anand.
That's him, Simon Anand. Yeah.
You've screenshotted that, but you have literally Googled famous theatre photographers called Simon.
Yeah.
That was all I was given.
He
That's
has
his name, Simon Anand.
He has a 1-star rating on Google.
Oh,
He
no.
looks.
While there's also
He looks like Star Wars.
while there's also
He looks
a
like
natural,
Star Wars.
Well,
He looks like Star Wars.
And
Oh
also,
my god,
right.
he does look like
Hold
Star
on,
and
this is
Wars.
also a
important.
bit like Chris Whitty.
Yeah.
while there's a natural break, I'm now 48 years old, by the way. It was my birthday.
You
wasn't
don't
it?
need
So-
to
Yeah.
say it.
Oh yeah.
And I've drunk 2 cans of Banksy's.
Is someone's prostate going off?
So you can go and have a wee.
If Platts finishes this story before I get back, Steph, you're in charge.
Should I
Cross
or
and
should I
clear.
not try and get rid of the wasp on
I mean-
stream?
Yes.
I mean-
Let's ask the chat.
Problem is, if you kill it, wasps let off a pheromone that tell other wasps that they're in trouble.
The thing is, there's
God.
a wasp nest outside here, and every year the new queens go off, go to sleep in here somewhere, and then I spend the next 3 or 4 months when one of them rises up from their slumber to find me, and I have to try and get them out the window so that they don't come near me.
Are you gonna like humanely remove it from the
I
room?
was gonna just try and get it out the window.
Or
Well,
are you gonna bring the thunder?
I don't want to
Give me
bring the thunder.
Were you at the Prasands
Thunder.
Community Centre?
Yes. Are you looking for it?
No.
So to continue the story, we did the show for 5 people, which were
That's-
all of the people who were there volunteering.
I mean,
Five-
what-
Ah,
there were
what a
four
venue, though.
women and one of their sons. But they
If you-
loved
if
it.
you'd have done the show, Hannah, for everyone who brought you food, it would have been like the ending of every cookery program there's ever been.
Yeah, that would have been
You know,
great.
and- yeah.
Hannah
Well,
is
together now,
petrified
let's
right now.
I
She's
know,
not
it's just that it's
concentrating.
because I can hear it. And it went behind me. Did you see it?
Oh,
Chris, what a theatre venue. What a venue.
Yeah, look at it.
Boom.
wow.
There it is.
Doesn't it scream Brexit?
It's got a ramp, Mikey. It's got a ramp.
Yes.
Um,
Not sure. I don't even care.
So then probably 4 or 5 months after we did the show there,
Oh,
my friend was in the bakery in Falmouth, and a woman came up to her like, oh, you're from 12th Night. You're the girl from 12th Night. We saw your play. And it was one of the 4 women from Prasands.
Oh,
And they're in a book club together. So they all came together to watch it, and then they could read the play and talk about it. And I was like, that's so adorable.
Oh,
but-
that's given me so much hope.
I know, how nice was it? So yeah, but in other places we had like we went to a place called Crackington Haven.
no.
Nice.
We got lost. We ended up on a mountain looking at the sea thinking, is this it? We eventually found it, and they were like so excited because they'd never had anything on in their community centre before, and so they weren't sure what it would take from them. So they had 15 volunteers turn up to be like, we'll help. How many people do you need to help? And we were like, normally we do it all ourselves. And they were all like, let us help, yay. And they were so enthusiastic. And then they obviously, like, because we had our dinner thing, they'd made dinner for everyone. So we went in the back room and there was this giant table set out with like 20 people all around it with giant bowls of like stew, and like I had like sausage casserole and a load of bread. They were like pouring wine for everyone, and we were like, we can't really drink, we've got to do a play in a minute. And we were like,
You're literally here because
we have to go and do the, like, I just want to do this instead. Should we just stay here? Who needs a play? Like,
What does tell you the rough
it was
plot?
so nice. We were like chatting to them all, and they were like so lovely. And then we went out. Went out and did the play, and we had
They
like
hated
7.
it.
No, we had like 75 people there, and it was like everyone in Crackington Haven had all come out, and they were like, "Oh, is this good? Shall we do this again? Shall we have plays on in our hall?" And we were like, "Yeah, do this." And they're like, it was like the
lovely
nicest.
looking village.
Yeah. Oh, are you looking it up? Yeah.
Oh, you know I'm
Have
looking.
they-
At it.
There's
Have
Crackington
they
and
had-
Crackington Haven. They're next to each other, and that's how we got lost on the way there.
Did they keep their promise? They had played on since. Can we find out?
I hope so.
Was it a community centre?
I think so, or a village hall or something like
Crackington
that.
Haven Community Centre. Ooh.
Yeah.
I have accidentally clicked on an image. So,
Oh.
the Crackington Institute, Villing Hall.
Institute, that's it, yeah.
Does it have a ramp?
Do you know what? I can't
does
remember.
have a ramp.
Yes.
Um,
With Village Halls,
We
you're
can
quite
add
good
that
with
to the
ramps.
tours.
Weirdly, Mike,
Oh.
the ramp goes into the Hannah Platt suite.
No, I'll let you know what they've got on. Well, they had on before COVID. Monday mornings, get active class.
Ooh.
Monday evenings, circuit training
Oh,
and Pilates intermediate. With a beginners class on Thursday evening.
Can we please hijack a class?
Scottish country dancing on
Are you kidding me?
Tuesday evenings.
I'm there.
Cornwall.
Tuesday afternoons. So if we want, we can make it a double header. We can go for table tennis for fun first,
For fun!
and then do Scottish
As opposed to
dancing.
for work. So,
then- on Thursdays, table tennis, no fun. So,
no fun.
well, they
business
haven't.
table
At
tennis.
business, everyone has to wear a suit and talk about figures.
Yeah.
And then snooker club, NA.
Snooker club. I'm assuming they've got like fitted snooker tables.
Yeah, in my head, all the villagers have to dress up as a different colour ball and they just run into each other.
They would as well. They were so nice.
But there is nothing on here to say they've got any theatre on.
But then maybe it was like
So-
before COVID.
When
What
we
it
do our
needs-
tour,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
needs 5 mates
Ooh,
for the
it's-
podcast.
It's a nice-sized main hall, though.
It's big.
143 can seat.
Mm.
oh, and you only got 75.
Right. We have a very big stage.
Wow.
Can't believe this.
That was cutthroat.
It felt really full.
Even Pixie is judging it. She's like,
Anyway, my point is, like the best. I don't really have a point. But the point is, places are weird, but they have heart to them, and that's the important thing.
Oh,
Because the last venue on our tour, thanks. The last venue on our tour was in Portreath, and
and
there
fuck
were
those
like
guys.
some what?
And, fuck
And
those
yeah,
guys.
where the bakery is, yeah. And they Portreath.
Village Hall? Can you say that?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a old like chapel building. It's got like a high ceiling. Anyway, what I was going to say was there were some kids there, and they were kind of running around and like not making a nuisance of themselves, but just like being sort of slightly rowdy. But we were just like letting them join in and stuff.
Had you accidentally walked into the early stages of a wedding disco?
No, I don't think so. No, but what it's just the only thing I was going to say was
halfway through, did a little kid come up to you and say, "Can you put on the Macarena?" was two kids sliding around on their knees?
I think one of them did do a slide on its knees, yeah. But at the end, one of the dads came up and said, "Oh, she wants to give you something." And this tiny little girl had saved us each a Malteser out of her packets of Maltesers, one each, and handed them to us.
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
beautiful and disgusting.
I know, because they were slightly melted, and I was like, "This is so beautiful, thank you." And obviously, the others couldn't eat them because of vegans, so I was like, "Thank you, I'll take all of those, thanks."
Yeah, I'll eat them later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate the sentiment.
So the Portreath Millennium Hall.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
According to this website, which has their what's on, nothing, but their
Well,
past
obviously.
past events. May 11th, 2019. Endless featuring D-less. No, sorry, only Endless featuring Endless. Trifle Gathering Productions. Doesn't say what it
Oh,
is.
Trifle Gathering are a company.
And then the next one is February the 21st, 2011.
Yeah, they didn't update their website.
Pinocchio by Cube Theatre. Then the same day, Geppetto by Cube Theatre. And
Cube are quite a big company in Cornwall.
that's all that's ever happened there.
No, because ours happened there in 2016.
No, didn't. No.
It
And they
did.
clearly updated because that says 2019. So I think this is lies.
Right, well, I'll send you some photos and you can look at
We
them.
can't guarantee it's Portreath.
You can, because I took a picture of the ceiling rose in the Millennium Hall with my feet on in front of them. I was lying on the floor.
12
Can you prove that they're your feet?
nights.
Yeah, because who else here has got size 9 Doc Martens on?
Oh, Fathom Theatre presents 12th Night at Portreath. Was that you?
Yeah.
Are you
No,
sure?
then they follow.
Yeah, am I sure?
Just-
I'm one of
just
the
making-
signatories on the bank account.
Just
I think
making
I know
sure
the
you're
name
not.
of the
Just
theatre
making sure you're not
company.
going. That was us. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Well,
Hold on.
There'll be a picture of me probably. What?
You really did set up a theatre
Yeah,
company.
Yeah.
they've got.
We've
like,
got
That's the image for their
Arts
show.
Council. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's the trunk.
Oh, I've got the blurb here.
And
Oh, go
And
for the
I've-
blurb.
I've got the marketing blurb. Go on, Mikey. We'll do you first. Sorry.
it's Fathom because you thought about it a lot. I like your style.
Thanks. Yeah. We could-
£8.
Very clever.
yeah.
Oh, at least it's family tickets, 22 quid. So that's not bad.
Yeah. We called it Fathom because we were trying to think of a name that sounded like a bit Shakespeare-y, but like not too wanky, and like was quite nice to like came off the tongue. Like, oh yeah, Fathom, that's cool. And also, it's like fathom, like fathoming out knowledge. Yeah, that's cool. And then when we were doing the tour, we stopped off at my friend's parents' house, and we were sitting there eating in their kitchen, and her dad went, "Oh, I think it's really." This isn't his accent. I think it's really, really funny how you called yourselves Fathom. That's really clever. And we were like, "What do you mean clever?" And he was like, "Because a fathom's 6 feet, and there's 3 of you, and you've got 6 feet between you."
And please tell me you went.
And we were like, "Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's glad you worked out the code because no one else has yet,
including us.
including us."
Oh,
Yeah.
doors were at 7 and the show started at 7:30. Were you expecting a big rush?
They set that. We don't have control over that.
Okay, what rough, terrible accent or voice should I do this in?
Don't know.
Not
Cornwall?
Fine, we can do this.
Oh god.
3 women, 1 puppet, a host of characters, and a little help from you.
Because he made somebody be the priest at the end.
Fathom Theatre pushes Shakespeare's identity-swapping comedy to its hilarious limits, with intense hat-swapping, plenty of laughs, and at least 1 rocking pair of yellow stockings.
Beautiful.
It's the age-old tale. You know the one. Women become men, men become puppets, puppets have identity crisis and accidentally get into jewels. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, but this fast-paced reimagining will thrust greatness upon you, whether you be a witty fool or a foolish wit.
Thanks, you're
It's not a
welcome.
script.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good blurb, that, yeah.
Did you script it, Hannah?
Reviews.
Yeah, we cut it down to like 90 minutes.
Because
Or
it goes on a
is it-
bit, doesn't it?
yeah.
12th night.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of
Maybe-
faff in there.
Yes, a lot of that. There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Could we maybe read an extract between or something?
Well, no, I'm just
Yeah,
trying.
I've got it saved
Oh,
somewhere.
come
yeah.
on, God.
I'm just trying to find a review.
That could be one
I've
of our
also got. We had the
lock-ins, couldn't it?
character matrix that we made to work out who played what in what scene, which is like so we had like A, B, C, and then we went through each scene, being like, okay, when do they leave and enter, and then when did they come back on, and what do they need, and so we had like so we mapped the whole play.
Oh, shall we do it as one of the lock-ins in the new year?
Yeah, I'll find the script if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking for
do it.
reviews to make sure it wasn't shit, but I can't find any, so we can't guarantee that.
To make sure it wasn't shit. We actually got invited to do it at the RSC in the outdoor space. That
I
was
mean,
the best
yeah,
thing
but
with
Been
it.
there,
Like,
it's the outdoor space, mate. They
Dell.
let anyone in.
yeah, but like it was
I've
still the RSC.
performed
Yeah.
at the RSC.
And also, no. The RSC was Rugby Social Club.
The Royal Society of Chemistry booked us for. No, it was like a thing in the summer where they had like people. So we
Yeah.
did 2 shows in Stratford outdoor at the
Sorry,
RSC.
say that again.
So at the RSC that year in the summer, they had you could apply to be on their outdoor space, the Dell, in the little garden next to the theatre.
I won't say what I thought you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was great because like 200 people sat there watching us in the park, and we were like, "This is amazing!"
Yay!
Yay!
Ah, wasp! Ah!
Hannah Platts, ladies and gentlemen. Well done.
Yay!
Um,
What a fucking queen.
what a fucking queen. From one
Is that,
queen.
oh, you meant the wasp, not me. Fuck you.
No, I didn't. But okay, I do now.
oh,
To do now.
One
No.
queen, from one queen to a king in his very own throne. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mikey.
Oh,
Yay!
That's glorious.
that's a
Lord.
banging introduction.
Yeah,
Banging.
I'm going to record that, and it's going to be one I use for everything ever. So, as mentioned,
Yes.
my story is about poems, and because I know which side my bread is buttered on this podcast, it features quite a lot actually. Mr. Dave Pitt.
Ooh.
Dave
Mad
Pitt.
Dave.
Dave Pitt.
What I've done
Dave.
is I've provided an element of intrigue that actually the story doesn't really deserve. It's me just going a bit wrong sometimes, but still sort of not actually dying. So that's good.
Okay, was this by any chance at the Slade Rooms?
Well, oh, Jesus, as a writer, you're not very good at not giving away the crux of the plot. I don't
only
know.
said
I've
the
rehearsed
location.
this, Dave.
Let him be, Dave. Let him tell his story. Dave.
Anyway, we begin.
We can still see you. We know it's you. We know it's you, Dave. Dave, we know it's. Oh, where's Dave gone? Has anyone seen Dave?
I've muted my mic.
Oh, there he is. Oh, shit a brick. Fuck me. Wow, I am spooked.
Mike, fucking ignore this lot, mate. You carry on.
Nightmare. So it's around 2000 and maybe 11, 12. I mean, like maybe second year of uni. And what's going on? Oh, I thought the cat was
Yeah,
back.
you're okay.
I thought the cat shit again for some reason. And it must have been quite a boring like midweek night where it's like there's not much going on. And I sort of wrote a poem. I don't
As you
know
do.
to this day. I don't know where it come from.
The muses.
Yeah, it felt like it just sort of appeared. I thought, oh, I quite like that. And then after a couple of days, I wrote another one. And until I had 3 poems, like back to back, like what's going on? And so what I did was for some reason, I told my access support worker, and he was like, oh, I'll run an open mic night at a local pub. You should maybe come and like do it. I was like, yeah, that'll be good. So a little old me toddles off to this pub, and I have to say the word open mic was pretty like loose. It wasn't an open mic in the way we would. It was essentially a jam night for like several prog rock musicians.
Oh God!
Oh.
I think to all do like Hawkwind covers at each other.
I've been to nights like that before.
We're going
Yeah.
to open mic.
And
Oh, great.
so-
Who's playing? Oh, Rush. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin's bringing his bass. Oh, great.
And so basically in the middle of this night, I turn up and do a poem about my mum's new house plant she keeps in the bathroom.
Beautiful.
And yeah, like
If the
like
poem had
properly
gone,
low
if the
stakes.
poem had gone on for 27 minutes, you'd have fitted right in.
Yeah.
But then with this night, like,
Did it have any key changes?
No, it didn't. It just sort of like constantly low stakes throughout.
yep, that sounds like prog rock. Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Like to the outside, it must have looked like some weird raffle. Like I'd won some sort of weird competition to sort of be there. And sort of do this.
What
And so-
a competition to enter.
I know. Well, like it's just
I
amazing.
won! I won! What's the prize? Oh.
Yeah.
What
So
what
just-
what was second prize?
It was. You got a free ticket to a £6 curry and comedy.
Hey!
And so, just to set the theme, there's probably about 9 people in this pub. 4 of which are like angry Port Vale fans.
Oh God!
I mean,
Yeah, you didn't have to use the word angry.
depressed Port Vale fans.
It's implied.
Yeah. And then the only people who are listening are right next to me, and are like middle-aged women and their mothers, who fast forward 10 years are actually probably my target audience, like low stakes. Again, it's lovely 2-handers set in a bed sitting
Yeah.
that type. So I did it, and it was it went really well. And next day I went back into uni. I was like, how'd it go? To be note taker, I was like, did I do well? He did really well. He said, but the thing is, we couldn't really hear you because your microphone technique was a bit rubbish. I was like, I'm an actor. I don't need a microphone. So that was like a good start. Cut forward to 2018, I think.
I think I'm in this bit.
I'd not.
Calm down, Dave.
Dave.
It's not all about you, Dave. Please.
It's all about Mikey.
I mean, thanks. I've not done anything. I've not written any poems. I've not
done anything. Just basically sat there for 4 years.
Yeah, for all that length of time, and then it was the 31st of March, and that's significant.
Well, the reason you hadn't done anything, Mike, is someone was still playing another brick in the wall. It was
Still on the intro.
Or comfortably numb.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking banging tune. I in a charity shop nearby to us, I saw some terrible art that was 2 goldfish terribly drawn with the words two lost souls women in a fish bowl scrawled over it in gold text. I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I love it. I must. If it wasn't 90 quid, I'd be like, I'm gonna buy it right now and put it in the living room. This is amazing.
That has real big she's turned the winds against us energy. That's something a divorced dad would buy.
I would buy it and put it in my shed where I also have a bar.
I'll make my whole living room a tribute to Pink Floyd now that she's gone. I can live my real life. Anyway, as you were.
Gilmore will be my friend.
Dave Gilmore understands. I have become comfortably numb. You see, he got me.
He understands me. He understands my pain. I'm also comfortably numb because I've eaten nothing but fish and chips for the last week. My heart is just full of fat. I am comfortably numb. I can't feel my legs due to diabetes, but I'm comfortably numb.
I don't like to feel.
Normal man.
I stopped feeling in 1993.
I've never felt before. Comfortably numb. Comfortable. My numbness makes me happy.
Numb.
Can you tell that me and Hannah haven't fucking done any improv in a year? Fucking hell.
I'm so sad.
Num.
Improv
I don't even know where it was.
You were comfortably numb. No,
we were comfortably numb.
You hadn't done anything.
You had a terrible microphone technique.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
No, we fast forwarded to when Dave was about to appear and he got overexcited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dave's fault. It's all Dave's fault.
Look at his face.
That's the face you see when your uncle comes to visit who you don't like very much. And he says creepy stuff and he says it's a joke, but it's not really a joke.
Why didn't I screen grab that?
No, I've got the same size forehead as everybody else. It's just my hairline is just dramatically going backwards. We all know what I
At the
mean.
point where we were all supposed to say no.
No, because
I've got a really massive forehead. They're about the same. Carry on, Nike. Don't let him distract you.
I literally hopped off the train of thought. So,
I was
31st
just about to
March.
come in. Yeah.
This is the 31st of
reason-
March.
Yeah, the reason why that is significant is because it's the day before the 1st of April, and the 1st of April is the start of National Poetry Writing Month.
Right.
Which,
Thought you were going to
so,
say April Fool's Day. Carry on.
That would have been funny because it would have been a lie and thereby a fool, you see. Oh
Carry
my
on.
God. Meta. Op.
Mikey's tickled himself. Mikey's tickled himself. It's great when Mikey tickles himself.
Not a live stream, Michael. Jesus.
I mean, that's a sinulender. There's no double entendre. That's just a single entendre. That is. I like it when Mikey tickles himself. Yeah, I do.
We should all be ashamed of ourselves. I just want to say
I am very.
we're the
ashamed
worst
of
people, and we're here together in the podcast.
There's fuck all people watching. Let's just do this for us.
This one's for
I
us.
only ever do.
I
Mikey.
forget that we're being
Good
recorded
artist,
sometimes.
Mikey.
Okay, everyone shut up. Mike, it's on you. Go.
So friends put this like link up to be like I'm doing National Poetry Writing Month. Come and join me, and you can put like sometimes you can get a prompt and you write a poem every day from that prompt, but sometimes you don't have to, and you can put it on a blog and like the whole community shares it, and it's just really nice.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah. It really, because sometimes you sort of write stuff that is like objectively just shit. You
say sometimes, Mike.
Yeah, but then other times you write stuff that isn't terrible. With a bit of work, you can see. So I'd sort of 2 weeks in, I'll get a message from our friend Sean Hartman, who
The wonderful Sean Hartman,
Friend of the podcast.
runs Arena, and he says runs the act night at Arena. And he said, Mike, I'm short of 10 minutes. You haven't got anything, have you? I said, well, I've got I've got some shit poetry. I don't like.
And he said, we had Dave Pitt on last week. Fucking come on.
I don't know if it's any good. I don't know if it's any good. Like, but like, okay, it was like, yeah, fine. So I turn up to do this sort of, like, I turn up with my phone and I got, I picked out some of the ones that I like doing, and like, I started, and it starts to go really good, and like even the bits that go wrong are really funny, and like everything just seems to sort of fall into place, and people are responding really well, and like the feedback was amazing, and man just above me in the screen afterwards then says,
That's me, because I'm below you on my screen.
Then says, so we run poetry nights. You've got 5 minutes. Our next one. And so what is? I just turned up purely accidental and did this poem about like my mum's yucca that she keeps in the bathroom.
It's not about yucca plants.
It's not about the yucca.
This one was. I don't think I was.
It is about the yucca. It's always
solidly about yucca.
It's always about yucca.
Why is Sean Bean talking about yucca?
Because he wants to. Oh, you bastard! Listen, I've got yucca plant in home, and it's big, and it's not a southern yucca plant because it drinks Yorkshire tea.
One cannot simply yucca into Mordor.
I want you to just quickly evaluate your entire life up to now.
I do that every day, Adam. It's called having anxiety.
Isn't it great? Great. It's great.
Mikey can get to the bit when I turn up. Oh, I have.
Oh,
You've been in it already! God!
You just wanted to mention
King Dave wants to sit on his throne. Bloody hell!
I mean, if I had a throne, I'd also want to sit up on it.
Well, yes. No point in
Because then
having
I would
one,
be
is
a
there?
king, and kings have thrones.
So I turn up at this huge about.
We've lost it. This is where we lose the podcast.
About a month or so later, and for some reason, like, because like the sort of the naive person in me, this I know I'll write a new poem, and I'll learn it entirely off by heart, and I did, and I started to do this poem, and like it's quite full, and like again it's quite funny, and people are laughing, and it's like amazing, and as well, like in a really pleasing act of circularity, all the other like there's local poets, and then poets from another area of the country. Guess where this month's poets were from? Stoke-on-Trent. I realised I left out that detail at the beginning of the story, so therefore that little bit of audience participation is never going to work. This is why you need to draft things.
No,
I know.
You
How
have a
do-
point for knowing about that Port Vale from Stoke
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
I watched Wrexham get hammered 5-0 to Port Vale in a 3-season friendly, and our goalkeeper lobbed himself.
What?
It
It was very interesting, and I've never had a moment before. Like I was like 14 and went, oh, it's not going to be a good season, is it?
I'm getting a feeling. I know that because I have driven past it on the M6 and seen it written across it. Anyway.
And so these poets from
Fun
Stoke,
fact.
right?
Carry on.
Yeah. And then this one poet from Stoke gets up and does a poem about crisps. And immediately I'm like, I found my crowd. This is the low stakes stuff that should be getting more of an airing.
it's not about crisps, Mike.
Yeah, the stakes in it, like aren't like that big, but like they matter to the like person in the story. This is brilliant. And the thing about like poetry gigs is that each one you go to, you meet a load of other different people you'd never meet ever before.
Mainly poets.
So, yeah. But then that poet runs the night, and then you sort of like
Yeah, you make a little network of
make a little sort of network.
little web.
And,
friends.
yeah, and then so this man comes up to me and he says, "Really like your stuff. I'm organising a night at Wolverhampton Literature Festival in February. Would you like to do it?" I was like, "Yeah, all right." And this is like July, so I'm like, I'll say yes. But like, you never really say yes and think it's going to happen, do you? Because there's like time. But like, we sort of took details, and it got to sort of quite relatively close. And I get this text off this guy, and he says, like, "Are you still like free?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I like, and bearing in mind, like, so far it's gone quite well, and I've been able to sort of do it without like prompts and like felt really confident in like delivering poems and stuff. So I'm like, what I'll do, I'll just write down a set list of like 2-3 poems, just the title, so I've got something to go off. So I turned up at this event in the Slade rooms, and Dave was there.
What? But he's not mentioned it at all.
Oh, his little face looked so pleased when he said it. That was adorable.
Welcome back. We missed your job. Hey!
Ah!
And you were there. And you were there.
That was so sweet.
And so I get there for like 7, starts at 7:30, and like nobody's there. Like, you're thinking, oh,
Poetry gig.
yeah. No, but like the Slade rooms is not a small room, is it? You think, oh God, if there's 5 people here, then it's good. But as well, the chairs and stuff and the tables are set out in like cabaret style,
Right.
so everyone's really sort of close together. I'm thinking, if people start to come, where am I going to perform? And it's like, because I can't get the stage isn't accessible, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure we'll be able to find a way. So
They did, didn't
We'll get into that in a bit. And then, so the guy says, "I've got a running order for you here, so you can know what your slot is." Do you remember Dave? It started like at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I wasn't on. I can only describe this night as like the poetry and music equivalent of Live Aid.
Oh God.
Like,
Yeah.
do you remember it went on for about 6 hours and everyone had 10 minutes? So I wasn't on until like 20 to 10 and it finished. God. It was down to finish just before midnight. And like running times are never running times, are they? Because like the MC does the banter and then like people
always runs over.
There's technical issues and like, but also this place. Or is it back?
No, it's fine. Carry on.
Within the blink of an eye, this place becomes packed, doesn't it? And you literally you cannot move, and like. Again, like my anxiety, just like, oh crap, where am I gonna perform? There's no like spot. So I'm thinking by the time I perform, I'll be all right if I just, take on some water and whatnot. And it gets closer, and like, he introduces me on, and I realise there's no place for me to go. So I'm like, what I have to do is basically turn around where I'm sat and do it there. So effectively, what that means is, like just like that gig earlier on, Dave, like I'm literally sat on the laps of the people in the audience.
Yeah.
Now, the first
Imagine you've got all these circular tables as like petals. He was the centre of the flower.
So you're in the middle.
Yeah,
all right.
like there are people like around me in every direction.
Oh my God!
I started doing this first poem, and the first poem is arguably the one I enjoy most. And because of that, it's like it goes really well, and you just feel the like energy of the room, and it's great.
Mm.
And then like there's such a response. You're right, Hannah. You're gonna.
I'm fine. I'm just keeping an eye on it so I know where it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. You keep going.
If you need an ambulance.
Okay.
And then it gets to like the second verse of the second poem, and I take like what is commonly referred to as a pause for dramatic effect, and somewhere in this pause, I suddenly realised, I think, this is weird, isn't it? And suddenly, like, and in the time it takes for me to think that thought, like, I've overrun the pause and it becomes weird to start talking again. And then I think,
I like that.
Yeah. And then I think, and suddenly doing poems in front of a room, in a room full of people, seems to be the most like unnatural thing ever, and it just lost me a bit, and like so I try and make a joke of it, which doesn't land. Like even the jokes.
I'm listening. Carry on.
They're like, but like the crowd are really good, and they're like cheering me on in that plucky British way, like he's got up and done a poem. And what's worse is my mum, this is like the first time mum and dad have ever come to see me do poems. And like it's my, the idea of performing is like my dad's worst nightmare. So he's quite sort of aware. Have I got some sort of weird echo?
Hannah's pulled out her headphones, I think.
Yes, I think she has.
It's weird to sort of hear myself back. I don't like it.
Sorry, it was a mistake.
It's all right. And so I try and start again.
The whole thing. I won't go into it.
And I start, but I suddenly sort of, I know what I want to say, but the words won't come out. And then, so I'm trying to make jokes. And I shuffle through my phone and think I should have had the words with me. I can't find the poem in my phone. So to avoid any more embarrassment, the MC gets up and does a poem next to me whilst I'm trying to fathom out what. And at some point, somehow, I get to the end of the thing, and I just feel like, just objectively, like, you know, when you like die on stage and it's just not happening.
Me too, well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just like,
Yep.
I'll get off stage and he's waiting for me, but your man over in the top screen, he just comes running over to me and gives me the biggest bear hug, like.
Oh.
And it's just like one of the. And it's like, I'm like there crying at him, go, will you please give me another gig? I'm sorry. It's like, it's basically like every scene in Bridget Jones. If like, just like objectively really sad. Like so, I'll leave the gig. Don't even wait for. But the last thing the promoter says to me, next year you're coming back, and because like you're really good. I want to see more of your stuff. So it gets to the like, and I sort of spend the next year like finding it really tricky not to do poems without the words there, and I feel like I'm constantly sort of reaching for it. But then it gets to a point where you just sort of sat with it and think, well, if I mess up, so I'll just go on with the words. And so what I decided to do is I do that classic arty thing where I use my trauma and put it into a poem.
Yes.
And that original. So I do, and I know what I'll do. I'll really kick my demons in the dick, and I'll do a poem. I'll do the poem about messing up at the place where I mess up, so it's like proper, like, you know, like it's proper cathartic.
Vindication.
Exercise the demons.
And it gets to the following February, and he messaged me saying, I'm organising this night again. I'm like, when you do it next time, can you give me a bit more space to like performing? So, like, I turn up the next February. He said yes, he will, but you never know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And I turn up, and the seats are all raked, and the space is huge, and it's just like there's nothing anywhere. There's like enough for about 25 people, and I just like instantly just okay, this is gonna be fine. And I get up, and I do this poem in front of these 25 people who probably a year previously had all helped me through this really awful time. And I sort of like made a huge step forward that night, I think. But actually, as sort of it was finishing, one of the other poets, who will remain nameless, went up to me and went, do you not think you're sort of selling yourself short having too fewer seats? I was like, I just overheard him. I just overheard them. Like, it just felt like a bit, we've still got quite a long way to go because, you know, like access. Like, have more than 25 people, obviously, but don't overdo it. So, like, it makes certain people feel awkward. So, yeah, that's my story about sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
amazing.
And that is Mikey's book.
Yay!
With poems in. Including
brilliant.
Including that poem, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's there.
So yeah, he's a proper poet and he's published and everything.
I am.
Published
nice.
Published nice.
Properly amazing.
As someone who was there, you may have realised Mikey mentioned that I was there.
You weren't there, were you, Dave? Were you there?
It was not as bad as Mike's making out.
It's never as bad as you yourself feel about it. Yeah.
But as someone who has absolutely died on their hole on a stage, and also forgotten, I mean, 1448, I forgot my lines.
You forgot one line.
Yeah, no, but you got me out of that, mate. I was
Yeah, but
about
that's-
to reach for the script that was in the bag I had on stage.
You forgot one line, and no one in the audience noticed because there was like a 3-beat. Well, also, it was like after a slightly poignant moment anyway, so everyone was going, "Oh gosh, they're letting a pause happen because of emotions in theatre."
That was
So?
yeah. So yeah, Mike, it wasn't that bad, but I also knew
Yeah.
you'd be absolutely tearing yourself apart inside.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I would have done.
Yeah. But like, it sounds really wanky, but like, I don't think I'd change it because that entire first sort of year, like, doing a thing that like was never ever on the cards, like, just turned into like a whirlwind, and having the like book publisher was like, what is going on?
I remember
I've literally got a collection of words.
Yeah, at the gig where he had his book published, he said, "There's two things I don't understand. One is that Raul Jimenez is playing for the Wolves, and two, this pamphlet."
Yeah, when you came to Leicester to do a bit, and you was like, "I'm selling a pamphlet after the show." Well, it's a book. You're like, "No, it's a pamphlet. If anything, it's nearly a leaflet." Was your words?
It's nearly.
That's it. Like, until the poet, I did not know pamphlet was a word to describe what is essentially a small book. You could read it on the tram. And it's just like, it's mad that, like, doing it.
And you've got one.
I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, the published poet, Mikey Southern.
Yay!
What a fucking legend that man is.
What a legend.
Right.
What a bleeding legend.
Bleeding.
What a
Absolutely.
20 carat gold geezer.
He's an absolute fucking legend, is what he is.
Oh,
Um,
Papa Lash.
Hello, Jonty.
Jonty's here.
Jonty's in the
Yay.
room. Apparently, there are some problems with Twitch tonight, which I'm sure
Yeah.
is what's explaining our low viewing figures.
Yeah, that's what's explaining it.
Yeah.
It crashed on my
Nothing to
computer.
Nothing to do with
but it's
the
come back.
lack of marketing.
Nothing to do
The fact
with
that- the fact that Dave turns around every fortnight and goes, "This is a bit shit in it." Again, it's
I haven't
We
said
told
that
you
in a
about that,
while.
Dave.
I haven't said that for a while.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
haven't
haven't
said
said
it
that
for a
for-
while.
Yeah,
You have said
I have said it. I just haven't said it for a while. It's also down to the fact that I don't know about you lot, but I am really, really tired.
Me too.
Yeah. It's getting to that, but I mean, we're taking a break after next week because let's be honest, we fucking need it. To finish off the night, ladies and gentlemen, Drunk Dad Story, it's Steph Loftus.
Yay!
As we
What
all-
did the mad old duffer do this time?
Honestly, my dad is my, I know my mom's listening. He's my favourite person. Yeah, I said it.
He's a
My
legend.
parents have very different roles within the household. My mother is the caregiver. She is the cook, the cleaner. She's the one that you go to when you go, don't tell dad, but when you know you're in trouble, because then she breaks it to dad. And dad's the one that you go to when you don't need advice. You just need to hear the thing that you didn't want to hear, but because he has no filter and he'll just tell me that, well, that's stupid. So yeah, and he's also probably one of the reasons I'm such a big drinker. He's definitely one of the reasons that I can navigate to most places via the names of pubs. And yeah, he's just an all-round legend. But there is, and it's being broken this year, and I don't quite know what he's going to do with himself. But there is a tradition every Christmas, and I feel as it's the 1st of December, it's only right to tell a Christmas story. But this Christmas story is not one you find on Sky Christmas Movie Channel.
Hallmark Christmas 24.
Yeah, this isn't Hallmark
I
Christmas.
feel like this is the right juncture again for Hannah's Cockney urchin.
Oh, what day is it? Why, it's Christmas day,
Which
madam.
for you is just a busy day, Timothy. Timothy.
Oh, if you only would give me half a sixpence, sir, I could
No.
tell you a story about how Tom got so sloshed on the old beer. I couldn't think of the Cockney rhyming slang for it.
On the old
Vera Lynn,
beer.
that's what you needed to say.
Oh, Vera
Timothy.
Lynn.
Timothy, it is Christmas Day. Chimneys are being used more this day than on any other day.
Oh,
and
please,
yet
sir.
you're in here not sweeping a chimney, Timothy.
I've done 20 chimneys just this morning, sir.
Only
It's
20?
Christmas Day.
Kenneth has been up 106.
But some people get the day off on Christmas Day. Do you need me to pat your back again, sir? Are you choking?
Some people have parents, Timothy. Some people have parents.
All right, sir. I'll put that image out of my mind again of the light leaving my dear old ma's eyes for the last time.
Timothy, I had a word with myself then, and I have a feeling I might have gone a bit overboard.
Oh God, I just
What?
snorted on the podcast.
What I meant to say, Timothy. What I meant to say,
Are
Timothy.
you two doing a Christmas carol?
Get out!
You good? You done?
Timothy, I've spoken to 3 ghosts. I want you to head to the carpenters, and buy the biggest gallows you can find.
But sir, they've only got that giant guillotine left in the window of
What
the
the ghosts say,
carpenters.
I'm going to have you killed for being poor.
But sir, the noose is too big for my tiny old scrawny neck.
It's fine.
Would you like me to buy you some extra string?
No, it's fine. I'll donate you a scarf briefly.
I'll try not to get my bodily fluids on it, sir.
Good man, Timothy, good man. I might be going to spend eternity as a hellish ghost in hell, but I'm living life like a bastard. Sorry, Steph, your dad. I've heard these are lovely words.
Anyway,
I fucking love you guys.
We've had a gig since March the 14th. Carry on.
you know what? When we watch this back,
No,
this
man.
podcast only took about 25 minutes. The rest of it is just Hannah, Adam.
Do you remember when we started these? We were like, we'll keep them to an hour and a half. An hour and a half.
Yeah.
As we enter the 3rd hour,
I blame.
I'm still being hunted by a wasp.
Clip that, John.
The Ballad of Timothy and Bastard.
Oh, Mr. Bastard, you're such a good bastard to be.
Yes. What's the book, Steph? What's the book? What's the book?
No, let Steph do her story.
No, she can do the story once I whisper. Steph, what's the book? Reflections.
It's a twisted tale. So it's called a Disney
Is it the story of Timothy?
Dark. No. It's not. So, anyway, there is. I don't even see the point. I really don't.
We're doing fingers on lips.
Please don't, because then I feel like I'm at work. Does that mean do thumbs on lips, you fucking cretins? Oh. Both love and hate you all.
Oh God.
If it makes it better, I do.
Just want to go to bed, Adam. Stop talking.
Yeah.
My alarm goes off at 6. Shut up. I know.
So, Steph, your dad got a bit sozzled, did he?
Well, is there any point now?
No, keep going.
I
So-
care deeply. Continue.
So there's a Christmas tradition where my dad finishes work at lunchtime on Christmas Eve and then goes for one drink.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
every year the same. We're only going for one. Like, well, I'll be back. Like, and as a small child, I never really quite understood what was happening. But then as I got older, the game became funnier. Like, because you just watched out, like, Dad had finished work at like midday, 1 o'clock ish. And so obviously me and my brother would be home. And as the hours went on from like 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, me and my brother would be sat there watching my mum's face just descend further and further into thunder. And we'd be going, "You all right, Mum?" And she'd be like, "Yes, fine." And then go and angrily clean something.
Oh no.
Oh god, angry cleaning.
Oh no. That's when you know you fucked up.
Did you ever do that thing where you went, "Mom, where's Dad?"
No, because quite like being alive, and
Nothing like pouring oil on troubled waters.
There's playing dangerously, and there's just having a death wish, and so, as we got older, so me and my brother would be like, so I'd be about 14, 15, so my brother would be like 9 or 10. We would hear for about 10 minutes the sound of a key trying to find the lock.
No.
Oh no.
Just
the old stumble.
Like, until my dad repainted the door, like it just told the stories of Christmas Eves of old with cracked box on the paintwork. And so eventually my mum would like lose her head, and she'd go and open the front door and just stand there and glare as my dad would then go, "Right."
He's still holding the key, like,
You're right, love. You're right.
It's a tale as old as time itself.
So he'd come in, and me and my brother would be stood there going, "This is the best moment ever. This is better than the actual presents." Like, so he'd like come into the living room, and then he'd like stumble as he was trying to take his shoes off. One year he stumbled, me and my brother laughed, and deadpan he went, "Don't laugh at me, 'cause I'm
like, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening?
What is happening? Dad, do it again.
That is such a funny Christmas Eve that the point that we still quote that moment at random points. Like, I am now in my, like, I'm 30, and every so often Dad will go, "Don't laugh at me," and then we'll all sing it. It's become like a family tradition. But like, and so then, like, my mum would just very quietly just go, "Thomas, head." Right.
Oh my god.
Right. But the problem is, my dad, when he's drunk, winds the situation up further.
Did your dad never go, "Hey, me luck's in"?
No. So like he'd start like looking at me and my brother and going. Of course, then when my mum had turned back, we'd all go, like, "Nothing is happening here. Everything is very, very normal." And
Complete innocent face.
As I got older, and I was the first one to start driving, it stopped being a 9 o'clock at night and started being a step.
Oh no.
You come pick us up. And I'd be like, "What do you mean, Dad? Us? Because like, you're out on your own. Like, we're all here."
Yeah.
No. Can you just drop Bert off? Can you drop Pete off? Can you drop Barry off? Dad, I'm in a 3-door 990 Corsa. But yeah, we'll have a go. Me on Christmas Eve, like, parked outside whichever pub they're having to get into, genuinely considering buttering up the doors so I can shove 6-foot men in the back seat of my 3-door car.
Oh my god.
So do a round trip and drop them all home, and then we would proceed to have the exact same. I would get a text about halfway home from my mum just going, "What's he like?" Have the door open. Have the door open ready. I'm just going to shut
Shoot him through.
What's the thing about that?
Question for context. Is that what's she like? Oh, what's he like?
Is your mum not a camp 1960s like?
No, it's a. Is he okay? Do I make him suffer, or am I putting him to bed because I'm going to kill him otherwise? So like that. I then got a bit older, and I was working at a Saturday job in town. I was working at Peacock's.
Ooh.
Now,
Living a dream.
high society life. I was not.
So that's where you get your fashion sense?
Screw you.
Right, we've all had fun. But I think we need to simmer down. Simmer.
So, possibly my favourite memory of my dad, and also the one where I genuinely wanted the floor to swallow me whole.
Oh no.
So I was working at Peacock's. It was the Christmas Eve shift. My mum was like, your dad's going into town for a drink, so what we'll do is me and your brother will come up and do some Christmas shopping. We'll meet your dad, and then we'll all go home together. We'll get a taxi together, because obviously there's nobody to pick you up on Christmas Eve. Not a problem, Mum. That sounds like a grand idea. No one likes getting murdered in the dark on Christmas Eve.
No one wants that.
No, it's not my top 10 things.
No,
especially after I spent all that money on Christmas presents. Like,
yeah, you want to get the praise.
Yeah, you need the satisfaction.
I want the validation.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
It's not going to work if I'm dead.
No.
Was Christmas Day, pigs in blankets.
Yes.
Yeah, potatoes, yeah.
So we'd finished, we'd mopped all the store, we were downstairs in the staff room getting our thing, and the manager comes in and goes, guys, I just want to make you aware that I have called security. But there is a gentleman wandering around by the grate. So obviously with shop stores, they have it's not even, it's like the garage door but with holes in. Like meshing sort of shutter for the shop front, which had been shut, so nobody could come in while we were all downstairs. And she was like, I've called security, but there is a gentleman wandering around. He is clearly drunk. He's had too much, but security are going to come and deal with him. Can I just ask that when we I'm going to raise the shutters, everyone out really quickly. I can shut the shutters, and then we can all be on our way, and security will just deal with it. It's going to be fine. And so we were like, yeah, it's going to be fine. At this point, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. I hadn't even thought about 2, if I'm honest. So we got to the top of the stairs, and so you went up the stairs, and then you opened the door and you were onto the shop floor. Well, the shop ain't that big, so you could easily hear anybody leant against the grate, balancing with their nose like this, going, Stephanie!
Oh, Stephanie! Oh no!
And the entire staff turned to look at me and go, is he shouting your name? I went, no. No, I don't think he is.
No, my name's Stephanie. You've been saying it wrong this whole time.
I was like, I don't think he said my name. So as we got close to the crate, he was going, Steph, you're all right. I was there, and everyone's looking at me, and I went
through the gap in the.
I went, hi, Dad. The regional manager went, do I need to call security back? And I was like, yeah. So she went back to call security. I looked through the grate. My mum and my brother are stood just further down. My mum is going.
How did they know?
My brother is crying with laughter because this is the funniest thing that ever happened, ever. And so, the shutters go up. I grabbed my dad and was like, just walk And he's going, what's the problem? You've been so before. As that manager had to go at you again, I'm going, that's it.
Oh my
I
god.
dragged him out of the Wolfram Centre and like shoved him towards a taxi. So yeah, and all the way home he was like, don't know why everyone's so miserable. Christmas, isn't it? And every so often he'd go, you're right.
That face.
To this day, he still laughs about that.
Yeah.
I transferred stores.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, that's just...
Oh my god. And the best thing is your mum's standing away from him, just like
When he gets home,
she's not trying to intervene, she's just watching it happen and being disappointed.
I'm just going to wait for him to hang him. I'm going to give him enough rope, and I'm giving enough rope, and he will hang himself. If not, I will do it later.
My mum's at Alan Bennett.
Everyone's mum is Alan Bennett. Or
So yeah, that's my drunk dad story.
And what a story it is.
What a story it is. Steph Loftus, ladies.
Yay! Thanks for letting me tell that story, Dad.
Only 23 days to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's stunningly
Oh god,
beautiful.
don't say that. I haven't done it.
That's a point,
Nice
yeah.
pub to shut this year.
Can you? Yeah, but he'll find a way. Can you film his return on the drunk day? Just because that's sweet TikTok content.
Yeah.
Lovely man. You've got great statues.
Love you, Tom. Love you, Tom.
Well,
Friend of the
Scourge.
podcast.
Scourge of the Mafia.
Oh.
Right. Okay. So
Passaporte.
that's it for this week. My God, we're tired. Well, me and Steph are. Hannah and Adam.
No, this is what I do when I'm tired.
This is how we work when we're tired.
It's 10 to 10 and I want to cry. That's...
Yeah.
That's just adulting in a nutshell, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I just
I want to cry.
AM, PM.
We'll be back next week for the last one before Christmas.
Are we wearing Christmas jumpers?
Oh yeah, I've got a Christmas jumper.
One problem with that, I don't have a Christmas jumper. I'm that much of a miser. I won't.
Have you
buy
got
a
just
jumper.
a jumper that looks like a jumper that like James Bond would wear when he's off piste at the ski lodge?
No.
Have you got anything red?
Yeah, I'll go a fisherman's rib.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that.
Okay, I'll wear a fisherman's rib. Okay then.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us next week where I'm wearing a fisherman's rib.
Bring mince pies.
And we're playing a game.
Yeah,
What
I'm gonna
game?
get mince pies in.
We'll get mince pies. I'm also going to be drinking that bottle of Jim Beam that you bought me, Steph, for my birthday.
Nice.
I can't really drink because I have to drive home.
Oh, shame. So
I'll just eat 12 mince pies on stream.
I will do both and then probably vomit. So
On stream?
On stream. So something to look forward to.
Content.
Just check. We've got 7 days.
Anything
to
for
check.
content.
We've got 7 days to check if that's against Twitch's terms and conditions. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sorry, we're all really, really tired. It's just the time of the year, isn't it?
We've been in lockdown, Leicester has, for 254 days now.
Yay! So many days.
How was the pubs? People who could go to pubs, were they nice? Were pubs nice?
I only went in.
Is
for
it nice in
breakfast.
gardens?
Yeah, it's a bit sad, isn't it? We're going the same way though, so it's like
It's great fun.
I think if people had have thought about this before they voted in this shambles of a fucking government, we wouldn't be in this position.
That would have been
Hannah.
good. Don't even joke about that.
No.
I put a lot of heart and soul into that last election.
When we can meet up, I think we should meet up in Grantham for no reason. Just
yeah, I'll bring my extendable paint roller.
Do you have an 11-foot ladder, anyone?
Yes.
There's apparently a statue appearing in Grantham, isn't there, of one Margaret Thatcher?
There's a great Twitter account, quickly before we leave, called
Sadly-
fun Thatcher Facts, which is
I
just
saw
every
that
day.
this morning.
Every day just
Sadly,
tweets She's still dead.
It's not. Sadly, it's not a statue of Tom Loftus.
No, it's not.
If only.
No, it's not.
If only.
If only.
So join us next week, 7:30 for the last one before Christmas. I'm gonna end the stream because I need to get to bed. So bye YouTubes. Say bye to the
Bye,
YouTubes.
you.